These are exciting times. It seems like sometimes the bad even seems to eclipse the good. But organizations like Rotary, our very Savior himself, he finished that. That battle was won. I had a wonderful opportunity to serve in the Air Force in the Philippines and got to know a lot of incredible people. Many people that were involved in sciences, teaching, and fast forward about 40 years, there is in an area that was the home of former First Lady Imelda Marcos, in a province in the Visayan Islands. There is a town, Amluco,
Yes, right.
and it was visited by what some are describing as the worst storm in recorded history. It was so devastating because it not only had they had a 7.2 earthquake in that same area about 4 months ago, came this storm, and of course it did horrendous damage. It was getting up over 200 miles an hour. But on top of all of that, then a tsunami came. A tsunami was 20 feet high. It wiped out an entire community. There's remnants. At first it was thought as many as 10,000 people had died. It's said that perhaps they're able to come back down from that, but it's among the worst catastrophes, certainly in the Republic of the Philippines. And I can only share that the gentleman who was at this podium with us a couple of months ago, I remember you met Mon. Mon is was a remarkable fellow. They call him Mike Wallace of the Philippines, where he lived. And so as he got back there, and as we began to realize the magnitude of this, he was there at the right time, God's timing in my estimation, and he began a team. This is within 24 hours of the time that the typhoon came through. He was there with 12 physicians, and he had been raised there. It was his hometown. And
we're talking about Montupol, the guy who spoke.
We are, yes.
Yeah, the guy who was here before.
Yeah, and so what we're hearing now, and what the world is understanding, and what I was sharing with a lot of people up in Sacramento and elsewhere, is that Californians, Phil-Ams, Filipino American folks from throughout the world, throughout our country, we have such a wonderful, such a wonderful Phil-Am community right here in Rosamond, throughout the high desert as well. He has been with these 12 physicians almost since the water was still receding. They're helping to meet the disaster. As I came back from Sacramento, I was talking to a variety of people that we wanted to know about the severity of this disaster, and his feedback is the very first. Now,
so when are you leaving the Philippines?
They will be leaving. Richard will be leaving this evening. I will be leaving tomorrow evening. I had an opportunity to talk to a variety of folks. First of all, Richard Skaggs is a very well-connected man, and he's right on the port, just right down in Los Angeles, and he is neighbor to a gentleman that takes collected medical supplies and flies them all over the world, and he does it through a nonprofit.
What's it called? What's the nonprofit called?
I don't have the name of the nonprofit, but he coordinates, and he takes tons of material. Well, Richard, of course, is very well connected, and one of his emails, it was an indication of that. Steven Seagal called him from Russia, said he wants to come, use his name. I had the opportunity to work with some of the hospital groups, including the Antelope Valley Hospital, other district hospitals, to begin to bring together the material that needs to be brought over there. It's largely medical material. Now Richard's here, he has a whole lot that he's going to be taking. They will be leaving this, the first contingent will be leaving this evening. And I, like I say, will be coming the next day. But all of that will be focused on identifying need and coordinating and getting people down there as soon as possible. Of course, I had a call back from the governor's office, and I said, well, you said you were going to get this for me. I'm going to be here tomorrow. And the lady, Wendy, who answered, she said, because I was in the governor's office yesterday talking about that, and said, you need to get that yesterday. She said, oh, the governor's talking about that right now. So I bring you the latest news, is that that communication will be electronically made available to me. I will be taking it to the president of Malacanang Palace, the president of the Philippines. And that's just some of the things that we want to tie together the people of California and the need for relief. The other call I made that I thought really was a God thing. I've known a gentleman by the name of Ned DeLessie. Ned and I have certain views. I'm evangelical, he's an evangelical Catholic, but we feel very strongly about children. We feel very strongly about poverty. And I've, on many occasions, I think it's probably quite, I'm not up there anymore, I was a little controversial, but I worked with my Catholic brothers and said that, you know, an unborn deserves to be born, period. So I called him and I said, you know, we need to get some more medical facilities. He said, well, Cardinal Dolan, the head of the Cardinals of the United States, had put out an encyclical and asking through the Pope as well, because there are 96 million Filipinos, and probably 80% are the Catholic faith. So that feedback came back, but then I got the most remarkable email, and it humbled me, because it's telling me that one person, one communication, if God is in favor of what's happening, can do amazing things. So what basically Ned had done, he emailed the background that I'd had in the Philippines, and that Mr. Tolfo was there working with Mr. Skaggs, with his company, Amstar, and he wrote the most beautiful, beautiful letter to all the Catholic associated hospitals in California, you know, serving 10 to 12 million people. And it said, you know, we know we're working with Catholic relief. This is very important. But he said, I need to tell you that former Senator Phil Wyman called me, and then he said something that touched me. He said he just has a very special relationship with people in the Philippines. And while I'm not saying that you should in any sense shirk your responsibility to the bishops and to us, if you've got any other options, be sure and contact him, contact Amstar. And when I let him know that one of these people, the founder and the gentleman that's right here, was actually the first people there, it was amazing. And that's also happening with a doctor who is Filipino-American in the Antelope Valley Hospital, who's president of the hospitals that are the district hospitals, like the National Hospital, like Antelope Valley, like, you know, the ones that are for profit, and they have to be non-profit because they don't make any profit. They can never even ask whether there should be service. They just serve people. So those 46 hospitals are also in the loop. So a lot of things, wonderful things are happening. But our little Rotary Club here, and Richard Skaggs, and Sutulfo, Mon, these are just very exciting times.
Anyway, we had Mon Tufo as our guest speaker here in September, and I brought a copy of his speech. It was wonderful. His articles talk about us, Rotary, and it talks about his experience here in California. But most of all, the man spent a lot of money with getting helicopters, getting the doctors over there, and people are talking about the Rotary here. And the folks really appreciate what we're doing, and we have a lot of letters going to them from here. And Mr. Tufo was so happy His article, I brought it, and it was in the paper on Tuesday. Today it's the front page. That group was the first one. It mentions several times on the news, it mentioned the Rotary. So again, it was so nice to have him as our guest, and it's like family for some of the folks I knew on that island because we had an office close there. So, anyway, Glenn is here, and Glenn is a major in the National Police, and his brother is police in charge of hanging here in Angela City. So it's really nice to have him here, and I have the latest reports, the real reports from the Filipino side, and I'll pass that around, talking about the looting in prison. They all broke out of prison, it's going to prison, and it was just terrible, a lot different than what we heard. But anyway, is there any questions?
You're leaving tonight with whom?
We're leaving tonight with our group, and I brought some samples of the things that we received. $2 million material.
$2 million?
Unbelievable. First class job. $1 million for one, another $1 million is coming in on.
Any scrub?
Oh, wonderful. Everything.
So what do they anticipate going to be the major problems after the...
A lot of sickness and diseases,
waterborne diseases, that type of thing?
a lot of it. So we have it covered. We got everything they wanted.
From Manila forwarders is the owner.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Brother Manny Paez is the owner of Manila forwarders. Actually now all over the United States.
Come on up here and introduce them.
All over the United States. The one who wants to send donation supports to the Philippines, they're accepting it and shipping it for free.
For free?
Yeah.
Thank you, Benny.
All over the world, you can contact Manny. He has, I think he will give some calling card later. Later. Yeah.
They go all the way up from
Actually, we have a fraternity here in the United States. It's a Filipino fraternity. It's worldwide. We're trying to organize a big concert. It's like a We Are the World concert, but it's for the Philippines. It's One Love for Philippines, and we hope we can get your support with that.
Yes,
it's been pioneered by, spearheaded by Richard, me, and
we left out Steven Seagal. And Steven Seagal, and we have Robert De Niro called, and they're all getting together, and Ricky Skaggs called yesterday. And we're
The other Ricky Skaggs?
Yeah, we're
one of the less famous one.
Yes, so we're putting this together with people in New York, all over, and it's working.
The proceed will be, because we're thinking of long-term health, not only short-term for food and clothing, that is short-term. We're thinking of rebuilding hospitals, schools there in Leyte, in Samar, so it will stand. And we're trying to contact with Habitat for Humanity, so we can help, build some houses there a little bit,
Have you talked to any Rotary clubs?
Not yet. This is the first Rotary club. That's why we're here.
In the Philippines, there's a Rotary club in the Philippines.
There's a lot of there's a Rotary club in the, and I believe they're also already helping.
One that we can partner with, then, or?
Yeah, we would love for you to have some partners with us.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, from Leyte to Ormoc to Leyte, that's very far, and if we can build at least a hospital there, houses we can start later on. But hospitals is really needed, and schools for children to continue their study, continue their lesson, to help them psychologically, because they just lost everything, and we're trying to save the mind of the children. So something like that.
Richard, how are you getting the supplies over there? By air or boat or how?
I'm flying tonight with a group tonight. The senator's going with us. And Filipino Airlines just okayed for me to bring on 10 big boxes of goods that they need. Right now, a helicopter is waiting for us in Manila, And also in Clark, at our office there, we're using our runway because we're on the tarmac. So everybody's flying in and we're transferring stuff, so it feels good that as a company, and we happen to be there already. And now we can use that runway, we can use the warehouse at Clark. Also, we're in Manila with offices there, and people are using it now. Luckily, we were able to do it. One office is close to the Consulate General of the U.S., and Phil knows where that's at, so it's exciting, and the prayers go out from all of us. And again, like Glenn talked about, is the Rotary Club. He's trying to get them all together, so it's going to work out.
Is this down at the
It's in my
port
warehouse.
right now? It's in your
I
warehouse?
have pictures of these big trucks being unloaded. I mean,
Okay.
unbelievable that we can use as a Rotary organization. So if you know somebody that needs stuff, I mean, it's unbelievable. I was in tears. My wife cried for at least 20 minutes. Just the people that said we want to help.
And these are all going to be packaged up and put on Philippine Airlines?
Yes.
Okay.
The airline already said they would do that.
All right.
Also, Joe, I want to thank the Oso Town Council too.
For helping out?
Yes, Joe is very generous.
Sure.
You know, and our group.
So all of this should be in the Philippines tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow.
Thanks to the Rotary Club and
So it'll go to work tomorrow?
yes, the Rotary Club has been working very hard.
Yes.
So we put it together.
Well, good for you. Good for you, Richard. Good for you.
It's always good to
Yeah.
see you.